Here's the thing, though I couldn't have known it when I was working in the steel mill, cleaning toilets, canvassing in East LA, every one of those jobs, as with all of the individuals to whom I pay tribute here, and many more I have not, made me more completely, empathetically human, and ultimately a better teacher and scholar, more committed than ever to service. Some of my most clarifying moments in the classroom have come when telling stories drawn from my family, from my organizing life, and my eclectic work history. When seeking insight on this point, I turned to Ralph Waldo Emerson. Doesn't everyone? A dangerous thing to do in view of the great philosopher that we honor this afternoon. In his brilliant essay, the American scholar Emerson declared that life is our dictionary. Years are well spent in country labors, in the insight into trades and manufactures, in frank intercourse with many men and women. And further, he said in this passage that might have inspired both President Gamble and Dr. Campbell at some point, "I hear therefore with joy whatever is being said of the dignity and necessity of labor to every citizen. There is virtue yet in the hoe and the spade, for learned as well as for unlearned hands." And finally, this gem we might all appreciate, which goes to the heart of whatever it is I'm trying to say here. "I do not see how any man can afford, for the sake of his nerves and his nap, to spare any action in which he can partake. It is pearls and rubies to his discourse. Drudgery, calamity, exasperation, want are instructors in eloquence and wisdom. The true scholar grudges every opportunity of action passed by as a loss of power." There it is, folks. That's the reason we serve on the handbook committee. Seriously, and as I close, every time I walk into the classroom, I feel and I know the value of my and my students' lived experience in shaping my pedagogy and our respective worldviews and understanding of American history. As a public historian, I have known for a long time the value of lived experience as an invaluable source of historical understanding. It was the intellectual inspiration for the oral history-based assignment I created in my U.S. History 3 class years ago. And I have learned more from my students and their interviews with living makers of history than they will ever know. And in the process, not only honored those individuals, but encouraged the students to see themselves as historical agents of change, which is a goal of mine every time I walk into the classroom. Months into my first academic year, back in 1999, I still could not believe that somebody was paying me to do this for a living. To be involved with students in a lifelong quest to examine critically the story of this great republic, to foster students' critical thinking, to help make them better writers, to cultivate their maturation as fully engaged citizens. I would do this for free, I told Marianne. 13 years later, there are days when I still get that feeling. Gary Brown, don't get any ideas. Struggling for a way to end this, I turned to a long-time source of musical inspiration for me, and there are many. The late great singer and activist John Denver, of all people, you say. Be glad of two things. I will not sing it for you, and it's the end of this speech. You're literally seconds away from beer. Welcome to my happiness. You know it makes me smile. And it pleases me to have you here for just a little while we open up the spaces and try to break some chains. And if the truth is told, they will never come again. I cannot imagine a higher aspiration for teaching excellence. Once more, thank you all very much.